When you hear the word underrated, what comes to mind? Maybe a song, an album, or even a movie. When answering the question of what's the most underrated video game, however, it can be tough. There's an infinite amount of possibilities to that answer. What do I think is the most underrated game of all time? Sleeping Dogs. Sleeping Dogs is not talked about nearly enough. So that's what I'm gonna do, talk about Sleeping Dogs for however many minutes. United Front Games does a great job of putting their own twist on the third-person open-world crime game genre. We need to rewind a little bit though, because Sleeping Dogs has a very interesting history behind it. So let's get into that. Sleeping Dogs began development as the third entry into the true crime series. It was in development for a few years until Activision canceled it. Developer United Front Games would be saved, however, when Square Enix acquired the publishing rights, but not the name itself. So you could technically say Sleeping Dogs is the unofficial reboot to True Crime. Scratch that, this literally is True Crime Hong Kong. As I was writing the script, I came across some beta footage on YouTube, and wouldn't you know it, most of the set pieces and missions are exactly the same in this game. Wei looks different in the True Crime version, but all the other characters like Winston and Ming still show up in this early gameplay. Which is very cool to see, by the way. This kind of shows that this game was basically done. It just got some tweaks and a rebrand, and that was it. Which, that's not a bad thing, by the way. That's pretty awesome. I always thought this game did not get enough love. See, it had the misfortune of coming out the year before Grand Theft Auto V's release, and it was during the 2000s and 2010s that any open-world crime game that was not named Grand Theft Auto were labeled as clones or rip-offs, and that just really grinds my gears. I understand that Grand Theft Auto is the household name in that genre, just like how COD is the main FPS genre, but that doesn't make every damn game a clone, people. Come on. Sleeping Dogs does enough, in my personal opinion, to separate itself from the Grand Theft Auto series. For one, its combat is very good. It's very similar to Arkham's free flow system. It uses the square buttons for attacks and triangle for counters. There's also a circle for grabs, and the grabs are what lead to the dope environmental kills. If you are squeamish, I'm telling you now, look away or skip about 10 seconds. Pretty brutal. This game does not hold back on its graphic violence. You can use meat cleavers, knives, etc. Even some of the gun mechanics work really well, like being able to vault over cover John Woo style. My one complaint is that the enemies are very bullet spongy. I don't like that at all. These guys should not be no-selling 6 shots to the chest. This isn't 50 Cent Bulletproof. Wei, the main character, will actually get progressively more bloody and beat up as combat goes on. A very impressive attention to detail. Speaking of detail, this game still looks very good. The vibrant lights of Hong Kong just really bring life into Sleeping Dogs. Just remember, the sides of the road are reversed. The game's story is really well done too. Without talking about every single detail and spoiling it, it still kept the undercover cop idea from True Crime. It follows Wei Shen infiltrating the triads of Hong Kong, and during his journey he will go from worthless foot soldier to one of the most powerful men in all of Hong Kong. And he must deal with the corruption on both sides of the law.
Fuck your orders and fuck you too, Penju. I came on to take down the Sun On Yee, not to shuffle the deck.
The storyline itself is very well written. I actually found myself caring about the characters we meet along the way, and it was really a shock to see some of them go.
Oh my god, Jackie! Fuck!
One of the darkest scenes in any video game I've ever seen is when one of the main characters gets gunned down on his wedding day.
Oh god, Peggy!
Wait. Get Peggy out of here.
But it isn't all criminal activity. There is also undercover work like stopping a murder in the street race scene or catching shady drug dealers. There's also little mini games like having to hack into surveillance cameras or planting bugs in cars. The villains are well done too. Dog Eyes is the game's main villain for the first big chunk of the game. He's a cocky triad boss who gets what he wants when he wants, and he meets a pretty brutal end. Even your boss in the police department turns out to be a corrupt cop, which, I mean, shocker, I guess.
Good firing, Wei.
Penju! What are you doing?
I told you he wasn't important.
If you want to take a break from story missions, there's plenty of side content to keep you entertained. Side activities raise your face level. This determines what cars and clothes you can wear. I think it's kind of stupid that clothes are restricted behind a level, but I didn't design the game. There's also street racing and the martial arts clubs. The martial arts clubs work similar to the challenge maps in the Arkham series. They're a great way to kill time, and you can beat your friends' high scores. If you just want to fight waves of enemies in this game, this is what you're looking for. And they're infinitely replayable, and you get paid every time. It's win-win. There's also various dates that you can go on with girlfriends. It's only one-time dates, but each girl has the benefit of revealing all the collectibles on a map, like the statues or the hell shrines. And it boosts your face meter, so again, you might as well just do it. Speaking of collectibles, there's a point in the game where you have to take a tourist to find this old kung fu school, and if you bring back all of the stolen jade statues, you can actually learn more moves for combos. So that's a collectible you're going to look out for. Health shrines are what upgrade your health. You have to find like 4 in a row before you can get an upgrade, which I think is kind of stupid. I would have much rather just have the upgrade option in the upgrades menu. But again, didn't design the game. The upgrades are pretty useful too. There's cop upgrades and then there's triad upgrades. So triad is like your combat and gun stuff, and your cop upgrades are like breaking into cars without, catching a wanted level or stuff like that. Because Wei is an undercover cop, there's cool little reports you can read about on your phone that add a little bit of more lore to the story. I know some people don't care about extra lore, they just want to get through the game and all that stuff, but for me, I think extra lore is a good thing because it fleshes out the story more, and most of the things that aren't answered in this game's story are answered in these reports. So as you unlock them, give them a read. They're pretty interesting, and some of them are pretty funny actually. I am reviewing the Definitive Edition on PS5/4, so I do have the DLC, and it's hit or miss. Zodiac Tournament is a Enter the Dragon spoof. If you like 70s and 80s kung fu films, you'll enjoy this DLC, but it's very difficult, and not in the I love a challenge difficult. Like, it's genuinely annoying difficult, especially this part with the falling ceiling. Whoever designed this, I have some not nice things to say about you that will not say on this microphone. So I can't say that Zodiac Tournament is the greatest piece of DLC, but it's fun at times. It looks nice. Like I said, it's an Enter the Dragon spoof. Everybody loves Bruce Lee. So you kind of can't hate it for that reason alone, but it's surprisingly difficult, and it took me by surprise because I forgot about how difficult this is. Nightmare North Point was the Halloween-themed DLC for Sleeping Dogs, and I actually have no complaints about this one. I really enjoyed it. It has a focus on a long-dead member of the Sun On Yee coming back to life to take his revenge. He goes by the name of Smiley Cat, and he's pretty good in this DLC. He's entertaining. He even brings back some of the main story characters that were killed, like Johnny, Dog Eyes, and Ponytail. One thing I noticed, however, though, is that Dog Eyes has a completely different voice actor in this DLC. Here, take a listen.
Whoa, Wei, what the fuck, man? Seriously, Wei? I apologize.
I'm gonna roast out your eyes, you fuck!
This is a very fun DLC, and I definitely recommend it if you're into like horror and supernatural elements. The ending's pretty good too. You defeat Smiley Cat, and they rip off the thriller ending. Overall, I recommend it. It's short, only about an hour. So if you got an hour and you own this game, check it out. Pretty fun. The final DLC, on the other hand, Year of the Snake was the New Year's theme expansion, and it follows Wei being demoted to a street cop and trying to stop a cult. That's the plot. This DLC, to me personally, was incredibly boring and repetitive. Go here, disable the bomb. Go here, arrest cultists. It just got boring very fast. It's over an hour and 30 minutes long, which is fine, but I was so ready for this thing to be over. If you really like the cop missions from the main game, you'll enjoy this, but I certainly didn't. By making this review, I'm hoping to get some more recognition on this great game because I feel like it is not talked about enough, like I said in the intro. It's a fantastic game that 10 years later, there's not much like it. I don't really know any other games that you can compare this to. Maybe the Yakuza games or Judgment. I've never played those, but I've heard that those are very similar. But in terms of review, what is the final ranking? Maybe a little controversial, but the final rating for Sleeping Dogs is an emphatic 9 out of 10 with the Doc Friday approval. Go play this game, buy it on PS3 360, or if you got a PC, buy the deluxe edition, definitive. Excuse me. I'm not reading the script here. I'm doing this just off the top of the head. So if I'm stumbling, apologies. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please do and go play this game. If you want to leave your own rankings and mini reviews in the comments, I'd be happy to look at them and we can chat about it. And if you think 9 out of 10 is too much, that's fine. Just don't be an asshole about it. Anyway, hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. I'm out.